All right, y'all, sit down, lie down, squat down. Here we go again with Bell Tells. All right, before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. My Instagram link is in the description. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do so as well. Get to know me a little bit better. Click that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, here we go. So today's story is horses are the best therapy. So a few years ago, I was going through a really hard time in my life. It was so bad that I found out who my real family was and my real friends were. That was when decisions I had to make that were really hard. And we all go through that. And like I've said before, when we go through hard times, that's when we figure out who our real family is, real friends are, who the real people are. So one of the things I decided to do during this time in my life was to face fears. Why am I fearing certain things? You get one life. We fear things for different reasons, but I wanted to know why I was fearing certain things. One of my things that I feared in my life was horses. And the reasoning is because I had a friend of mine who had one, and I watched this horse charge at her, bit her on the lip. I mean, she was just, I've never seen a horse so mean, and I've never seen a horse as mean since. So I decided to take up horseback riding. That I'm going to do this. I'm going to face my fear. Not all people are mean, and not all people are nice. Not all horses are mean. Not all horses are nice. Just like dogs, cats, all the 9 yards. So I got on this horse, and the cowboy I was riding with told me, whatever you do, do not panic on my horse. No matter what he does, you stay in control of your emotions and how you respond to him. Because if you panic, he's going to panic more, and we're going to have a whole different situation. Okay. Riding along on this horse. Things were fine. Things were good. No big deal. Ride was going great. I was enjoying myself. Halfway through the ride, the horse decided he was going back home. I was like, okay. So he decides to turn around to go home. And I was pulling the reins and trying to get him to move. I was trying to move him, and he just wouldn't, it wasn't happening. I was smooching at him. I was, kicking him a little bit, and nothing. He wasn't moving. So the cowboy I was riding with was saying, control your horse. And I said, why don't you come here and help me control this horse? So he comes back. And before he came back, I had this wave of fear that just came over me. And I remember taking a deep breath and going, okay, control your emotions. Control your fear. Take some deep breath. Like I was saying this to myself, trying to control how I was feeling, and telling myself, these are just feelings. This is how you're feeling right now in the situation. Change how you just get a grip. So he comes back over, and he said, hand me the reins. And I handed him the reins. And about that time, I felt the horse kind of make this weird pivot, like this weird, I don't know how to describe it, but just he moved in a weird way. And the guy told me, grab the horn and grab the back of the saddle. He's about to buck. And I'm thinking to myself, now, you had this brilliant idea to face your fears. Was this a wise decision? And I'm holding on to the horn, and I'm holding on to the back of the saddle, and I'm looking for a place to land. I'm like, all right, this dude bucks, where am I? And I'm looking around. To the right of me was a barbed wire fence. That wasn't going to be a soft landing. To the left of me was concrete, because we had, one of the reasons why the horse wanted to go back is because we were walking across a road, and for whatever reason, when the hooves hit the pavement, he just decided he didn't like it. Or I don't know. Maybe he was like, this is a new rider. Let me call her bluff. So the cowboy grabbed the reins, and with one quick whip, the horse dropped his head. And he looked at the horse, and he said, we're going. And as he pulled the horse, and I was still on the horse, riding along, a few things happened in that moment. It was like the light bulb went off and things started to make sense for me. The horse represented life. We have no control over what people do, how people treat us, or what happens in this life. That's out of our control. But what we can control is how we respond to people and how we treat people and how we react to situations. So I stayed in control of my emotions and I got my fear under control, and the horse didn't buck. Granted, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing my first ride, but I did control how I responded to the situation. I also made a rule for myself in that moment, which was anytime I get upset to the point I'm raising my voice, that means I've let the situation steal my happy. And if I've allowed the situation to steal my happy, then I'm 50% of the problem. Don't let people rob you of your peace or your happiness. And if it continues, and it is a once in a while, okay, yeah, we all get upset. Okay. But if you are in a relationship or around people you think are friends or even family members that are robbing you of your happy, you need to evaluate the situation and the relationship and make some heavy decisions. Having peace and happiness to me is priceless. But as I rode along with this horse and I'm listening to the hooves hit the pavement, and I got in rhythm with the horse's breathing, and I'm listening to the birds and I'm listening to the wind. And even though I was going through a really hard time and it was one of the worst moments of my life, there's beauty in everything. Because of going through such a hard time, I had to step back and evaluate some things in toxic relationships and how I was handling life by myself, just in general, and how I had let emotions overwhelm me, situations overwhelm me, and allowed that to rob me of my peace and my happiness. And so, I guess one thing you can take from this story, and I know this just sounds so crazy and so silly, but anytime I'm going through a really hard time in life or I don't have the answers, because I always say never make life decisions based on emotion, because you'll always regret it, which is true. I always get on a horse and I get still. I get quiet. I don't answer my phone. And it's crazy because maybe not in that moment when I'm on the horse. And I don't know if it's just because I get so relaxed and still. I figure it out. The answer comes to me. That's why I think horses are the best therapy. There is something so therapeutic about a horse. I don't know. I love them. I live in the city, but God, if I had a farm, I'd have 2 or 3 of them. And I would ride at least twice a week at the very least. And if you don't own one, that's okay. You can find a place to ride. All right, y'all. That's it. Please and thank yous are a must. Smile never hurt no one. Be cognizant of the things you say and how you say them, because kindness is priceless. Have a wonderful week. Stay positive. Find the beauty in everything that's going on in your life, because there is always a lesson we can be taught if we keep an open mind. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.